is our like food and bev industry. And I mean, from all sorts of standpoints, like, I mean, how do you want to approach it? You want to approach it like in the midst of a pandemic, or just the intricacies within, you know, like being an industry worker, what you're exposed to, the shit that you put up with, how fucked your paycheck is, how discriminatory it is, how racist it is. I mean, like, where do we start? But I think for the most part, just from what I know from the folks that I love most who are in the industry, is the industry is fucked and it is hurting so bad right now, right? Like the industry as a whole. And I'm real careful to really talk about it in a way as though, you know, like I'm in here and experiencing it. Like I own a micro bakery, right? And so like I do understand, you know, and I can relate to bits and pieces of it. But I mean, like my best friend is a bartender, you know what I mean? And like, I mean, I'm not doing that shit. And so we really are, though. Like, we're in the midst of like this reckoning within the industry in terms of like standards, wages, as the consumers, like, you know, how we are showing up in industry spaces, in restaurants and bars. And like, it is a mess. Every single person that I know that works in the industry is so overworked, so underpaid. The bodies, right? Like there are no bodies. Like it is so understaffed. People, you know, like business owners are having to like basically hold on to and hire bodies that they wouldn't normally because they don't have a choice. Right. A lot of business owners are also, you know, and this is a good thing, have also been forced to kind of reckon with how they're showing up for their employees. Like, have y'all been taking care of them? You know, before and during this pandemic? You know what I mean? Like, there are so many good places here in Denver. I'm thinking about cart drivers specifically, which is they do pizza. I mean, they do lots of things, but it's a pizza joint up the street. And like, that's like, they're taking care of their folks. I mean, like, I'm not an employee there, but just like from the time off, the times that they've been closed, you know, during holiday, but you know, where other people are like, dollars, like we have to stay open. These people are like, our people need a fucking break because they are constantly getting their shit kicked in day after day by whatever, like the world that we currently live in. But also there are too many people with outrageous expectations for industry workers right now. I mean, in terms of like patience and understanding, and like a very small amount, really, in my opinion, of like lacking compassion and like just having some fucking act right in public. You know what I mean? Like wait times are longer. People are like severely understaffed. You know what I mean? Like there are ingredient and like product shortages, and it is, I wish that I could say that it was like shocking, right? Like some of the behavior that I know about or that I have witnessed with my own eyeballs, that people are in here acting a damn fool in these establishments because of whatever, right? Because they waited too long for X, Y, and Z, or like their cocktail didn't get put out in time, or I don't know, y'all. Like if we're having like all, you know, do not be going into restaurants like acting like you are owed a damn thing. Okay. Like restaurants, cafes, bars, distilleries, breweries, whatever the case may be. Like, just like we get like keyboard warriors, You know what I'm saying? Like, we also get these people that apparently like lose all sort of like sense of self and intelligence and act right when they step out into public and think that they are like owed. But I mean, sure, like we all love a great service moment, you know, like if from the host, like you have all these touch points, right? Like when you step into an establishment, from the host to the ambiance, to your servers, to like the meal itself or the whatever product itself, to the way that it, you know, like when your check arrive and blah, 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 you know, like we have all these touch points and opportunities to like be soft and to be appreciative that like I own a micro bakery, like I said, but I am not out there, you know, 40, 50, 60 hours a week on my feet, like turning out meals for people that are like less than appreciative. So anywho, if you work in the industry and you want to like kind of sit down with me, we could do it on Zoom. You can write in like any sort of commentary that y'all have, questions, pieces that you want to add. But I would love to dedicate a whole episode to y'all for just being out there doing what you're doing, because I mean, I can't even imagine. On a real small scale, I can imagine, but I just really cannot. And so like if you're going to dinner this weekend or whatever, you're going to go to your local coffee shop. If you have money to eat at a restaurant, you have money to tip, and then you have some more money to tip in addition to that. And if it is like taking a beat to receive your coffee order, you say thank you with a smile on your face, and then you leave a fat tip, and then you take your ass out of there and you don't mumble and groan about how long it took and yada, yada, yada. Like in its simplest form, you know, like when we're thinking about taking care of our community and doing like minimal shit, this is it. You know what I mean? Like if you want to be a consumer in this way, like here's your opportunity to just like flex some of your I am a good person type shit, because they need it. Our industry needs it because it's hurting. And I love to go to dinner just as much as the next person. And so I know that I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that like I appreciate y'all. So Benny and NYC, thank you for hanging out with me since NYTCC days, and thank you for reaching out here and hug your local industry worker. Consent is everything. Ask him if you can first, but above all else, tip your industry worker and tip them well. And I will catch up with y'all next week.